Hey, random thoughts, but did you know that piracy is not the problem? Wow, that's a bold statement to start on, but hear me out anyway and you'll see exactly what I mean. Albeit I'm well aware everyone has their own take on the matter, which some will preach to you more strongly than other. But anyway, my name is Misty / Chronexia, and of course, as an upstanding citizen, I am the proud owner of a Crunchyroll account for anime, a Steam account for games, I have Bookwalker for my manga, and Netflix for all the movies and TV series I binge. Although, for full disclosure, it's my wife's account, but same wallet, so whatever. No, I don't have HBO, because fuck if I'm gonna pay $15 a month to watch Game of Thrones when it won't even be out for another 2 years. So yeah, as a good boy who wants to support the industry of entertainment, and more precisely franchise I absolutely adore, I'll gladly split open my wallet for a good time. What's that? Oh yeah, yeah, the innuendo was intentional. My scope for this video is mostly targeted at outdated system. I see loads of companies, mostly Japanese publisher, complain about the steadily decrease of manga sales, for example. But I mean, what were you expecting? They're still using the approach of 1978, while technology has been exponentially exploding. Everything has become digital, as per my previous mention of Netflix, music, Steam, and Crunchyroll, just to name a few. And people are all into that. Do you know why? Convenience. Why would I wake up at midnight for the launch of a game, or even drive up to the store at 7 AM, which in my countryside of the boondocks is a solid 30 minutes drive away, to the nearest GameStop and wait in line with a dozen of other suckers like myself to hopefully get a physical copy of said game I want, because God forbid I don't pre-order it and they run out of stocks because they hold fucking 10 normal copies of the game outside of pre-orders. Sorry, that's another rant for another time. To drive all the way back for another 30 minutes and sit on my couch, pop that game in my PS4, and guess what? I fucking have to install it any fucking way. Here's something, and hear me out because I know it's sounding crazy, but what if you could download said game straight from your couch to begin with? Same price, actually cheaper because you don't spend the gas to drive and pick it up, and if you're like me and your time is money, well, yeah, cheaper. Of course, this way you don't get the physical copy, but guess what? Not everyone is a collector. As a matter of fact, only a small fraction of the people collect those. Others just want to experience the story and move on to the next digestible piece of entertainment because, well, basic supply and demand. Simple as that. There are so many types of entertainment which all cater to a person's taste, so this brings me back to convenience and the problem of companies who are not adapting and evolving to it. Show of hand, honestly, if you go in a bookstore, are you more likely to end up buying a novel or a manga if you can actually open the book and flip through the pages before purchasing it? Or do you want it all wrapped up in that tiny plastic film over every copy so it's a blind guess what you'll buy? Just go back a few years, what was the biggest appeal of GameStop when it came to purchasing a game as opposed to, let's say, Walmart? You get to actually pick up the box, look around the back of it, maybe even read the taglines or whatever instead of having the whole thing cased off behind a window and having to bother a clerk just to look up the game. Convenience. Now, Steam compared to GameStop. Don't need to move, actual trailer for the game you're interested in, and even customer reviews to make up your mind. Con-fucking-venience! People want to know what they get before they purchase it, and if you make that step hard for me, the only other way you can win me over is with point number 2, competitive prices. And now we get into piracy territory, because pirating stuff, while immoral, at the end of the day it's still free, and what are the repercussions of that? Nothing. No cops is gonna bust down your door because you watched the first season of Rick and Morty because, well, let's be honest, you'd have to arrest nearly everyone. So unless you take the high road for morality's sake and to support the industry or artists or whatever, logically, pirating stuff is both convenient and cost effective. The two most important things for a customer. And companies fighting this off loses just as much money trying to shut them down. Because piracy is a fucking hydra. You kill one off and 2 more websites pop up. It's a never-ending war of attrition, and piracy is always gonna win, because it's an anonymous international undertaking of fans who just want convenience. Money is a secondary point for a lot of people. Why do they have a Netflix account? You still pay for it. Same with Steam games. You still pay for each individual games you get, and I haven't seen many complaints around the block, because everything is put under an umbrella for you to pick. How many times have you spent more time searching for something to watch on Netflix than the actual minutes you invested in your selection? I don't have a degree in marketing or business, but it's a core system of life. If you can't beat something, adapt, improvise, overcome. Think outside of the box. Back to manga. Shonen Jump is one of the biggest publishing companies that does manga, and their sales have tanked since 2005. Have you thought of maybe, I don't know, have a website on which you pay a monthly subscription where everything is digital? And guess what? You'll save on printing hundreds of thousands of copies? Sure, some hardcore fans will still want to purchase the physical copies, but why deny the casual the simplicity of reading it online? They do it on Piracy website not to spite you, because it's simpler and more convenient. Lower the price of digital copies and make it accessible to grab new heads instead of relying on whales who want to fork out $60 on 4 episodes of a 600 plus episode long series. Anime is not niche anymore, it's worldwide. Get your own Japanese anime streaming platform instead of airing Attack on Titan at fucking 2 AM. Also, slightly off topic, but I had this on my chest for a fucking long time. For the love of God, Crunchyroll, please add a download button to the episodes you have. I love anime, but I won't spend my roaming data streaming content. Mobile is a thing, let me use it and download shit to carry around. You'd be amazed at how many more subscriptions you'd get with that tiny feature alone. I know it's probably a bandwidth issue, but fucking give me Crunchyroll Premium, I'll pay the extra. Here's the thing, a lot of people, myself included, care about the artists who make the product. And most often enough, those artists end up getting nearly nothing out of the sell they do. So if I can support them directly via donations, thanks to a system like Patreon, the artists will directly benefit from it a ton more than by simply getting their content. YouTube is a perfect analogy for that. You could watch all 450 of my videos back to back, and simply money speaking, I would still earn less than a person donating $5 to me on Patreon. In today's society, you're the sole dictator of who's worthy of your money, and as a content creator, you have to accept you're either one of 3 categories. Either you're not worth someone's time at all, either you're worth free entertainment, or you're worthy enough for their cash. And newsflash, that's the consumer's decision, not the content creator. All 3 of these options are fine, because entertainment is a hella competitive market. You'll never see me complain about ad block because, well, for those people, I'm worth free entertainment. That's fine. Beats not having them watch my stuff at all. So at the end of the day, should you pirate stuff? Morally, no. And obviously, considering my line of work, you'll never see me actually promote piracy. But if am I to play the devil's advocate, logically, it's the smart choice. If you go to the store to buy a pair of pants, you'll try it out first. Same concept applies to entertainment. You'll want to try out a series, and then if you like it, that's when you start to splurge your money on figures, merch, and other various content. But you gotta win me over first, and if as a company you're not willing to make it convenient, I'll just go to the next one, and then we're back to my umbrella problem, also known as the cable corollary, aka licensing. If you're in a different country, you don't get the same anime as someone from the US, for example, because of rights and legislation and boring stuff like that. So you wanna watch One Piece? Cool, that's on Crunchyroll. Better get a Crunchyroll account then. But then let's say you're also into the original Sailor Moon. Well, that belonged to Viz Media. Better hook yourself on their platform too. Oh, Violet Evergarden's brand new. It looks nice. Oh shit, it's a Netflix exclusive. So I got 3 subscriptions so far for 3 series. You see the problem? I'm a content creator as well. It sucks when you find something you've worked so hard on hosted on a third party, but it's part of the game. I'm not gonna hunt down every single copies out there. I'll move on to the next product and hope that the actual faithful fanbase I've built throughout the years will keep with me. People will come and go as time moves on. Just like friends, your tastes constantly evolve and something you were into a year ago might not interest you anymore, and that's fine. Something new happens in your life and you start seeing less of each other. You promise you'd keep in touch once a week, but then you forget one, and then it becomes once a month, and well, slowly it's half a year and you haven't called, but neither did he, and what do you end up with? Well, some good times, some bad, also memories. And that 14 days free trial on crunchyroll.com/Misty, woo! But yeah, in a nutshell, there's no point in fighting a losing battle. As long as prices are reasonable, money won't ever be an issue. The problem lies in the convenience. Anyway, that was my rant for today. What's your take on the matter? Do you agree? Do you think piracy truly affects the industry in a negative way? Or do you think it's actually helpful? I mean, I didn't start off buying my anime as a teen. Crunchyroll wasn't even around then. I had to watch them on YouTube with the star system, and videos had a 10-minute cap, so each episode was like part 1, 2, and 3. And that time is what got me entirely into anime, which made me a fan, which made it so that I have a library of various shows that I've purchased. So in the end, piracy made them money that I wouldn't have want to invest otherwise. But that's just my 2 cents. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time.
hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.